Vine got out of her room wearing her backpack ready to leave for the university. She checked the time on her mobile and descended downstairs quietly, not in the mood to encounter someone. Vine's father, come back early today. She heard her stepfather Richie, who was making breakfast in the kitchen, say. She stopped and looked at him. Vine, why? Richie, I'm preparing your dinner tonight. Vine, keep it for yourself. I'll be late or might as well not return. Richie put down the fork on the counter and it made a loud sound. She sometimes wondered if he was bipolar. He was rude and disrespectful towards her, married her mother for money, always treated her like she was not a part of a family. Then there were these times when he would want to treat her so nicely. She was disrespectful and humiliated enough to give in to those little fake cares. Richie, I'm trying to fix our relationship. Can't you give in your part? Ryan, talking about fixing a relationship doesn't sound good coming out of your mouth. How about you go back to what a sin I am to be bored? I wish you were never a part of this family. Or you only ruined our moment with your existence, huh? Ryan, I still don't know how I listened to all of this as a child when you were not even my father. Richie, I'm your father. He grit his teeth, hands tightening against the fork. Ryan, you can keep it to yourself. I am an adult now, and I will be moving out soon, and I will take back my mother's company from you. She calmly walked out of the room, so used to the daily drama by now. It was useless spoiling your mood for someone who didn't even deserve it. Once she got in her car and her driver drove off to university, she thought back to what happened in home. It was rare her father, no, stepfather would try to be nice towards her, and she wondered if he needed her signatures anywhere, now that her mother passed away last year. She pulled up her sleeve to see the scar left on her body. It was not only insult, but she was a target of domestic abuse too. It had been 2 years her mother got married to Richie. She loved and adored wine so much. Once she fought with Richie and went out to drink with her friends and ended up in a car accident and lost her life. Wine was so lost and vulnerable at that time, she couldn't fight losing her mother and getting abused by her stepfather at the same time. She snapped out of her thoughts at the notification ding of her phone. It was a text from her boyfriend, which was enough to bring smile on her face. Meet me after your university. And she did. Took her classes, and when she stepped out of her campus, she saw the Audi A6 her boyfriend owned. A smile and a few skip of steps of happiness took her inside the car. She threw her arms against Jungkook's neck and kissed him as soon as she was inside. It was him who would never judge her actions. The cheerful ball of happiness she was around him, and it was all because of his immense affection towards her. Ryan, I think I fell in love with you all over again. Such a boyfriend material you are. She took her happily, holding his necklace in her fist. Jungkook never came to pick her up from university before. She never knew she needed it this badly till now. Jungkook, do I have to propose you all over again? Jungkook wondered if that made her this happy, he would do it daily. Ryan, I won't mind. She teased and pulled away, buckling up her seatbelt. Jungkook's eyes shifted off Ryan and looked behind her out of the car. The boy did trail Ryan with his eyes till she got in the car, his movements calm, but the fire in his eyes lit up with the hunger of inflicting pain till the little guy knew. whom she belonged to. It was in the moment a girl came and grabbed the guy by his arm, dragging him away, that Jungkook decided to let him go. Jungkook would get real possessive sometimes. He had ended people for eyeing his lady in the wrong way, and Wyatt clearly had no clue about it. Jungkook, lunch? When? Let's go to your home. I have no plans going back tonight. Jungkook, I won't be home tonight. I have to leave the city for a meeting, but I will return for tomorrow eve. Wine. Then I'll just stay there. Jungkook, tell me that Richie did something. I'm already on the edge of my patience. Wine. Don't worry, he can't do anything. Just ask for dinner, and I have no plans of ruining my mood when I can stay at my boyfriend's place and watch Netflix all night. Jungkook put his hand on her thigh. He was not a smiley or kind personality at all, but he had other ways to show his love towards her. He would let her do anything she liked, any weird thing she wanted in the middle of the night, and she would get it. He would put the world under her feet, whether it was the things she wanted, time, or him. He would give her. Once the two reached home, she skipped inside. She was usually a quiet girl out in public, but once she is with him, she would be a total crackhead. Wine. When are you leaving? Jungkook. By 4:30. Wine. Let me make you lunch. She put her bag down in the lounge and walked towards the kitchen washing her hands. Jungkook followed her shortly with his hands slipped inside the pockets. Jungkook. Or you could be my lunch. Wine. Tempting, but then you would have to cancel your meetings, my love. Jungkook stopped against the counter, leaning his back, and Wine took out an apron, handing him that. Jungkook took it like a move he was so used to. He didn't need to be told twice after doing it several times in the past. He pulled Wine close to him till she stood in between his legs, worn her the apron, and leaned in, tying the knot behind her back. He kissed her neck and stayed close to her ear. It had been 7 months they were together, but being this near Jungkook still always messed with her heart. She made the lunch, and the two had it till Jungkook left and she took a shower. She saw Richie's text to join him for dinner as he has to talk about her mother's company. She decided to stop by her home as she had no plans of ruining her next night when her boyfriend would be home with her. Vine took a seat when she reached home on the dining table and Richie was sitting across it. The table was empty. Not like she was hungry, but wasn't it a dinner invite? Vine, what is it you wanted to talk about? Richie, first, I need you to tell me what you meant by you are moving out. Vine, oh, so it's about that. Why? Could you see by the thought I'm going to snatch my company back from you? I'm the hero after all. Richie, you haven't even finished your education. There's no way you can handle a huge company like that. Vine, that's my problem. I would rather let it ruin to ashes than letting you handle it. Richie, you won't learn to obey like this, right? He stood up, jaw clenched with fury, as he grabbed her wrist and dragged her to lounge, throwing her on couch. Her eyes widened up as she tried to set free. Ryan, what the hell do you think you are doing? He tackled her down, grabbing a pen and pinned her hands against the couch so all her attention was on him. Vine's eyes reflected anger. No matter how much she tried not to panic, her insides were a mess. Witchy, I know how to get my ways, either by hook or by crook. You're going to sign these papers right here, otherwise, you don't want to know what extent I can go. He grabbed the papers from the table and moved them in front of Vian. She only read the title and felt so disgusted. It was a marriage contract. Vian, you don't need to show that. I already know what the hell of a person you are. She spat out and hit him in the crotch and ran away from there, which he groaned and took a moment before he was able to get back on his feet. Vine pressed her necklace, which her boyfriend gave her, and asked her to send a signal if she was ever in trouble. She ran towards the exit but was caught by Richie again. Richie, you piece of a. He slapped Vine hard that sent Vine to ground. It was so harsh she couldn't see for a whole good moment. He grabbed her wrist and signed the papers. Richie, now, my little doll, you will only do as I tell you to. He smirked and kissed her cheek, admiring the papers with lustful eyes. At that moment, Vine only wished for her boyfriend to come and get her out of this misery before it was too late. To be continued.